shape our students. It's the culmination of years of effort on part of many people and is the final capital project in the campaign for the colleges. The largest project in our history. We surpassed our fundraising goal of $28 million for this building. That's 4 times more than we've ever raised for a single project. Thank you. With us today are members of the Board of Trustees under whose leadership this project has been made possible. In particular, I'd like to pay tribute to 2 trustees who have led the important Buildings and Grounds Committee of the Board of Trustees. Tom Pizzuto and Tom Poole have guided this project with creativity, pragmatism, positivity, resulting in a space that is just wow. Thank you to the 2 Toms. Many months before we broke ground on this building, the Board of Trustees met to discuss its name. We had a very specific idea in mind, a way to honor a family that has been unwavering in its dedication to the arts, to the colleges, and to Geneva. We wish to recognize nearly 2 decades of extraordinary leadership, and to do so in a way that would be visible to future generations of faculty, students, trustees, and donors. Most importantly, we wanted to acknowledge and pay tribute to the powerful role models they have been to our students and to the transformative difference they have made in the lives of many. And so, in honor of their steadfast loyalty, for their inspirational vision that has guided us, and in celebration of our strong future together, the Board of Trustees unanimously voted to name the new Performing Arts Building the Guerin Center for the Performing Arts. I thank you most sincerely. Join me in welcoming President Guerin to the podium.
To the board for that allegedly unanimous vote, at least for Mary's part. Split decisions and dangling chads that are still being counted. But as you can imagine, this is a singularly unique experience for Mary and for our daughters, Melanie, Kathleen, and certainly for me. And we're beyond honored by the thoughtfulness of the board and have pledged ourselves to do everything we can to promote the arts here on this campus, and certainly in Geneva, and for the excellence of our students and the talent of our faculty and staff. So we thank you most sincerely. We also want to thank everyone here who has been connected to this important project and the moment it provides for the institution. We're joined by some key folks that made this space a reality. First, our brilliant architects. Graham Gunn and Ming is here, I believe. Ming Lin is here. And Graham back here. Right there. Fastidious in their attention to this. Of course, Graham Gunn Associates is a celebrated architectural firm in Massachusetts, particular expertise in higher education. Our trustees traveled around the country looking at spaces designed by various architects and wisely selected Gunn Associates to design this space. As serendipity allows, the one course I took as an undergraduate at Harvard in design gunned building. We are named for Graham's father, who was on the Board of Overseers, engaged in higher education. And his passion for higher ed was certainly passed along to the next generation. And we benefit from that perspective on higher education with Graham's excellence. Thank you, Mr. Gunn, for being here. Team selected Welliver Construction for managing this project, and our students and faculty and staff will attest that over the past 18 months we've seen our construction partners in temperatures that you can imagine on steel beams in this facility. But their care and attention was without any peer from our perspective in building projects. And Mr. Scott Welliver is here today, and we thank him and your entire team for what you brought to our campus, Mr. Welliver. Every project needs a project manager, and boy did we have a project manager in Chris Button. Give it up for Chris Button. State Senator Michael Mazzoli, who joins us here. Senator Mazzolio has been a stalwart promoter of the colleges, guiding us through important processes to secure state assistance, and we thank you, Senator, for your presence here. Faculty that are here in dance, music, theater, media, and society, and we're so fortunate to have faculty colleagues here. It's one thing to build this building, to design it, to have the project management, to secure the resources. But whenever we were talking to folks on the stage and in this audience and beyond, the one thing I knew for certain is that we would have faculty members here who would bring the very best of engagement with our students. And so it was of the full confidence and respect that we could go out to our alumni and alumni and parents and friends and say, when we have this new Performing Arts Center, the only thing we lacked on this campus was the space. We always had fabulous faculty. We always had talented students in productions. We just didn't have a ton of space. So I thank in a special way, and I think we would all join in saluting and thanking our faculty colleagues. The Office of Advancement. You don't raise 4 times as much from any other building without people traveling this country, representing the institution, advocating and making the case for this important space. Bob O'Connor is the incredibly talented vice president. He has a phenomenal team. You see it this weekend. We've organized events here that we can all be so proud of, working with communications and Kathy Williams, and buildings and grounds, and all our campus partners. But I thank Mr. O'Connor and the advancement team for what they've created. Our Board of Trustees, we're thrilled to have the executive leadership of the alumni and the alumni associations and many donors that are here. We thank you all. 18 months ago, we gathered right here at what was a parking lot in the old days, and on a small plot of land adjacent here, and broke ground for the new Performing Arts Center. And the accomplished individuals on this stage have given more than half of the important resources of $30 million necessary to make this Performing Arts Center a reality. And I want to just speak briefly to each of them. Cindy Fish, who had to lead our meeting last night for Family Matters, but she's from the class of '82, whose thoughtful leadership on the Board of Trustees and support of the performing arts has been defining. At a critical juncture in the process of the performing arts, she convened important sessions with her fellow trustees, and she literally rolled up her sleeves and committed herself to vision and think through ways ways to make this center go over the completion line. In the film screening room, the Media and Society will well utilize, is appropriately named in her honor. Thank you, Cindy. Christopher McDonald from the class of 1977, whose stage career and film career is well known and admired, and importantly, his intention and attention to his alma mater, for which we're so grateful. The theater is appropriately named in his honor, recognizing not only his professional achievements, but his generosity and his philanthropy to this important project. Thank you, Mr. Edward Froelich, from the class of 55, and his wife, Joanne Froelich, who've long supported the college's most pressing projects. In their names grace our athletics facilities, endowed programmatic and scholarship funds, and now the new Froelich Recital Hall for choral study and rehearsal and performance. At each and every time when the institution has represented our needs, whether it's scholarship assistance, programmatic assistance, athletic needs, and now the performing arts, the Froelichs have answered the call, have generously given, for which we're most grateful. Thank you. Craig Stein. This is kind of fun. I feel like Kennedy honors or something. Craig Stein, from the class of 1981, and his wife, Kathy Stein, whose in a spirit of innovation and ingenuity is matched by the space that will bear their name. The third floor, Stein Terrace, that will be home to a garden and lake views. Make your way to the third floor, to the Stein Terrace. It represents well Greg's leadership on the board, his own achievements, but his press for innovation and thoughtful stewardship of the institution that he cares for so much. To the Steins, we thank you. Class of 1984, with his wife, Green Wells, also a graduate, whose generosity and leadership on the board of trustees has led to the naming of the Wells Tower. Tower. He's a towering figure. And now he has a tower. It is, Mr. Gavin, I think one of the coolest spaces in this building. It's on the third floor. I would encourage you to walk your way up there. But it is, in all seriousness, well named for Chris because of what he brings to the board, what Chris and Green brought for the many years of their active engagement as alumni and alumni associations, and now Chris's work on the Board of Trustees. Thank you, Chris. Goldstein Ashton is the mother of two William Smith women, whose love of her daughters has translated into the support of the arts on this campus, most recently from the dance rehearsal space. And travel plans and the complexities of weather precluded her from attending, but we're delighted she's represented today by her brother. But the important dance rehearsal space will reflect her commitment and her love of her daughters on this campus. Thank you, Mrs. Tony Williams, a longtime friend of the colleges, patron of the arts here in Geneva and the Geneva residents. Her passion and support of the arts and the performing arts is well represented in the Williams Family Hall here, as well as the brand spanking new Steinway that will adorn these fields. Thank you. I'm excited about that. And finally, Tom Mellor, from the class of 1952, who is here with his wife, Judy Mellor. And I want to talk specifically today to our students. Some of our board and friends have heard me reflect on this. But to our students that are here, I want you to not be confused. Because I can honestly say, I think without any fear of contradiction, that this center would not be here but for Tom Memory. For decades, over the past 2 campaigns, Tom has wanted to bring this project to life. But the scope of this initiative and the pace of competing priorities understandably required him to bide his time. But he never lost his focus. He never wavered in his personal support. And he was always a forceful and articulate and passionate advocate for the performing arts. When we began fundraising for this project, Tom reminded us of the importance of the performing arts and what it would mean for the future of the college, for the future of admissions, for the future of student life, and alumni and alumni engagement. He explained that we must focus on a building tailored to meet the needs of current students and one that would attract future prospective students. And he said this: our ability to move into the new future with certainty is dependent on this facility. We must and we will complete it. And so it's fitting that this soaring lobby at the heart of this center, the heart of this campus, wonderfully across the street from the Melly Academics Center. Can never have too many Mellys. We need to have lunch. This space is full of light and beauty, and very, very appropriately named for Tom and Judy. The plaque right here will be hung on the north wall to commemorate your dedication, Tom. And this center, I think, is, we would all agree, a monument to your commitment and a constant reminder to our students of the power of one person, one very deeply committed person, to profoundly make a difference. Thank you, Tom Elliott. Center of it. Music, theater, dance, and media and society film. They give us a common language to discuss ideas. They challenge us into conversations about really the nature of what it means to be human. And I think they inspire us to fulfill and to meet our potential. The performing arts generally, with its emphasis on different voices and personal expression and a commitment to excellence, allows you, whether you're a participant or an audience member, to imagine yourself perhaps as another person in a different time, in war and peace, historical periods, or a different skin. Reynold Levy, who is a member of the class of 1966 and wonderfully helpful to us in many aspects of this project, said of this very project, exposure to the performing arts helps us to capture the human condition. It makes us encounter character and values and history. It exposes us to the best of civilization. It challenges our thinking. It moves us deeply. Exposure to the performing arts will make students better citizens, better parents, and better professionals. So with 65,000 square feet and this construction beautifully done, as Maureen said, it is the largest and most complex capital project the college has ever undertaken. And it is, I think, a wonderful testament to the investment that so many people here and across the country have made in making our students better citizens, better parents, and better professionals. When you look at the history of the performing arts here, it's fascinating. The dance program was first offered in 1931 by Janet Seeley. It was only granted department status in 1988, evolving from a few classes in the William Smith Physical Education Department to now a robust, independent department with 4 talented, tenured faculty, a strong academic major, and minor programs. But in its entire history, until today, dance has always used completely repurposed spaces, most notably the Lynn Seeley Gymnasium. When Professor Emeritus of Music, Lindsay Latford, arrived on this campus in 1948, music classes were offered just across the street in an old barn, where the library and the Melley Academic Center now stands. Music shared the facilities, interestingly, with the art department. And Professor Latford describes the structure as so drafty and in need of renovation that the piano, quote, had to be trundled around the room in a desperate effort to avoid the leaks on the roof. After the music major was created in 1950, the department eventually moved to the second floor of Williams Hall, which had, until then, been a gymnasium. For some reason, we have a gymnasium thing going on. Everything used to be a gymnasium. Next door to the drafty barn, where the music and art department were housed, were a small number of homes, one of which was owned by a man named E.E. Griffith, who led the first formal theater classes at the colleges, starting in 1946. A division of the English department, many of the theater classes were often held in Professor Griffith's living room. In 2007, the theater transitioned out of the English department into its own program, and with the hiring of a dynamic group of faculty colleagues with exceptional student actors, today we're enjoying wonderful productions. Hobart and William Smith was among the first liberal arts institutions in the country to offer a major in media studies. From its inception in 1996, the focus of Media and Society has been to foster a critical analysis of the media's influence on society and the individual. With engaging faculty and their scholarship in the field, it has now become one of our most popular majors on campus with 180 students. So together, these 3 disciplines, never before and shared and contain space that will allow for great synergy with music, theater, and dance and media and society, now have a home that honors their history as it encourages the next generation of students of innovation and creativity. Einstein said, "Logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will get you everywhere." Wait till the physicists hear that. Totally stepped in it. But to our students, I would say, this is the hope of the center. This is the hope of the board, our faculty, and all the many alums and families that have been so supportive. To experience the performing arts, to think critically about media and society, to leave here broadly educated in the liberal arts, and truly, truly prepared to lead a life of consequence. So we thank you for coming. I'd like to ask Mr. and Mrs. Melley, with our gratitude, to come to the podium. Tom and Judy.
Thank you all. Mark, you're a phenomenal speaker. The history of the arts is very creative. It's amazing. A dream has come true. I'm very happy to be here to see it. The details of this weekend have been extraordinary, and I want to thank people for everything they've done. The details are amazing and well planned. Mark has thanked people. I want to repeat the donors, nice, wonderful commitments. The nice Toms created this building. Chris Button, outstanding. The staff, it's worked obviously brilliant. I think this will change the campus, and that was my dream. And I think the student body and the campus will be a different place, and I think for much the better. And I'm enjoying seeing the enthusiasm of the students and the faculty on this project. Mark, congratulations on your building and Mary.
Women like to have the last word, right? I just wanted to say how thrilled I am to be a part of this celebration. And I am so honored to have my name on the plaque that's back there. And I studied that plaque yesterday morning, and I was so impressed with how many people, most of you probably, many of you, are on that plaque. And it certainly takes a community to build a building like this, and we're just so proud of it. I am so glad that this building is named for the Guerin family, whom I greatly admire and respect your contributions and the heart that you bring to this campus and to the whole Geneva community. And I have to say, I'm proud most of all of my beloved husband. His passion, his vision, his leadership, and his great love for these colleges I know that has helped to make this become a reality today. And what you might not know, all of you, some of you do, I know, is that he's also, as well as being very tender-hearted, he's a tough Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. He never gives up on anything. As you can see, he's unrelenting, he never complains. I have to say, well done, darling. Bravo. Bravo. Bravo.
Thank you, Tom and Judy. We need to make you an honorary William Smith. It is now my privilege to ask the members of the stage party to help us cut the ribbon and officially open the Guerin Center for Performing Arts. This ribbon cutting will be followed by a number of ribbon cuttings throughout the building that honor the many donors whose philanthropy made this project possible. Thank you all for being here.